Why, hello there, how are you today? Awesome Soul here, and I am back at it with another robot review. Not a sprinter this time. This is actually a cruiser, as you can plainly see. Although, I'm sure you are aware I am not the greatest of a cruiser pilot myself. However, I figured I would go and mix things up a little bit. So, what precisely am I playing today? Well, this would be the DB16 Midnight by BendaBoss123. And I have to say, I'm really digging the color scheme. I quite like that a lot. The other thing that I am rather enjoying is the weapon layout. Not the loadout, but the layout. So, what we have here is a lot of plasma and a fair amount of lasers, too. Oh boy, they're not looking too good here. Let's see if we can't make our daring escape. Well, that happened. This thing is actually pretty tanky though, so that's pretty good to know. But yes, what I was getting at with the weapon layout is all of the plasma is situated on top and at an angle, so it's not all on one level. Therefore, you can fire forward a whole lot easier. Also, you can fire from the side rather easily too. So this is good for, I guess we can call them bombing runs. You're not really a bomber, but you're close enough to it. So you sort of try and sneak past people or speed by, I guess we can say. And then the other thing this thing has going for it is lasers. Lasers, there we go. So what I really do like about this is it's got a similar style of fighting when it comes to the lasers as it does with the plasma. So the lasers are situated mainly on the side. So what that's going to do is... Oof, back in this situation again, huh? So what that's going to do is let you sort of run past people and shoot them with your lasers. And because lasers don't use as much power as plasma, once you use up all of your power firing off plasma, you can switch to your lasers and get in a fair amount of shots. You still have a decent fire rate. Unfortunately, though, their team kind of outclasses our team. They have much better synergy than we do. And I really seem to be the only one that's kind of poking a lot. Everyone else seems to be sticking around the back. I'm not entirely sure why, but perhaps I could get some assistance. That would be rather nice. Hey, there we go. Got ourselves a kill. See if we can't get another kill over here on this flyer. Lasers definitely are what you want to do when you're trying to kill a flyer. Huh. That's weird. I guess you can, yeah, hitbox on that is kind of messed up. That was weird. I have seen that happen a few times on this map, but I don't think it's that big of a problem. Anyways, what else does this bot have going for it? Well, as we have seen before, even though I've kind of died a couple of times, this thing is fairly tanky. I've made some daring escapes with it, but nothing too crazy. But that's only because, as you can clearly see by me crashing into stuff, I am not a very experienced pilot when it comes to driving cars. That's why I do like my leg bots. I don't know, I just kind of like the maneuverability it provides with jumping and all that jazz. Nothing wrong with wheels, though. Wheels are rather nice. It's a little bit late to comment on how fantastic the change is to wheels, as it's been out for a while. But I do quite like the change. So, there you go. I commented on it anyways. And dead. I don't think we got the kill. We probably got the assist there. So, what are some things that could be improved about this bot? Well, first things first, probably a couple more lasers wouldn't hurt it. Maybe if you downsize the lasers and add a few more, just for redundancy. This way, when you're sort of driving past people like that, you can have the full fire rate on the side. As the way it is currently, you're going to be one gun missing when you're trying to do these whole drive-by shooting type things. As dark as that sounds. But, yeah, that wouldn't be such a bad idea. As far as the plasma goes, it is pretty good. It is a pretty good spot, rather. I'm not entirely sure how we could change that. Though, when it comes to the lasers again, as we saw demonstrated there, they were shot off rather easily. And that is what I was going to get at a little later. I cannot English, apparently. It's kind of a running theme occasionally in these live videos. But anyway, as we see, it's only really held on by 2 rods, but those rods on either side, or 2 rods on either side for 4 rods total. But yeah, they're basically 2 rods because they are so close together. It's not really providing much of a benefit. As soon as one rod goes, the residual damage goes into the cube and kills the other cube, which has less health than the rod. So, kind of lowering the true tankiness of that whole rod setup. You might want to, at the very least, widen the rods a little bit more. And the other thing that I would highly recommend doing, if it actually works out, obviously I have not tested this, but the back wheels, they are not, as far as I can tell, the steering variant. Though in a recent update it was changed so you can steer with them, but only slightly. So I would highly recommend switching over to the steering variant. Unless it's going to cause you some problems. Like I said, I have not tested that out for myself. These videos are mainly a first impressions kind of thing. Besides that though, what I would recommend is using up the rest of the CPU you have. Just because this thing is pretty much at 2000. I think it's... I should keep moving here. That was a bad move. But yeah, it's pretty much at maximum. I think it's 1940, 1920, something along those lines. And at that point, you're not really gathering much of a damage boost, because it kind of has the weird curve. I'm sure you've seen the curve chart, you know what I'm talking about, but it's got the damage curve. So once you get to this high of a CPU, the bonus you're getting is not really that much. So what I would recommend is the benefit of filling up the rest of the CPU definitely outweighs the minuscule damage bonus you're going to be getting. Let's see if we can't finish this guy off. Maybe lasers would be a better idea. There we go. And now, get the heck out of here, because they are going to be spawning on me rather fast. Yeah, there's our friend. Not too pleased that I killed him. Although, actually, no. I don't think the mortar guy has flak. No, I don't think so. Maybe he did. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, yeah, going back to that, what you could possibly do is up this thing's already insanely high speed by adding some more thrusters to it. I'm just thinking maybe you could fit on 2 thrusters at the CPU range, maybe 3 if you're lucky. Definitely a good idea though. I would highly recommend doing that. I haven't actually checked what the damage bonus on this, but my best guess would be it's probably 0.40. It's kind of what I'm guessing at. We will see though, obviously, once we get out of here and go into the garage bay. Hello there, Mr. Tesla Flyer. Goodbye, Mr. Tesla Flyer. This thing is actually surprisingly good. Like, I'm terrible at playing cruisers, yet I'm doing decent. Huh. So, yeah, if that has something to say about it, I would say that this thing is pretty darn solid. So, with that, let's hop on over to the garage bay and give this thing a quick flyover. And here we find ourselves, yet again, in the garage bay, as we normally do for this series. So, first off, we have the front wheels. What I would recommend doing here is beefing up this front section, possibly with what little CPU you have left. So I was wrong about the damage boost there. It's 3%. A whole 3%. But yes, honestly, what I would recommend doing is still going with what I was saying before. Strap on some of these thrusters. You could probably get one under here if you just remove that section a little bit like that. Maybe tilt that down slightly. There we go. Set that up like that and like this. And you already jump from, I think it was 13% speed boost to 16 and a bit. You might be able to get, how many more? One. Nah, I was right, just 3 more thrusters. But a total of 3 would give you pretty much 18% speed boost. And honestly, that is a lot better than a whole 3% damage bonus. Because the thing with this is you're trying to drive past people as fast as you can, get off all of your plasma, and then retreat to heal, and basically rinse and repeat. It's a pretty good strategy, in all honesty. Now, what else can we do here? Not entirely sure. It seems like there is a bit of rod forcing going on underneath. What you could also possibly do is rod force the wheels slightly, specifically these front ones, just so they're not connected to this section here. Actually, let me just double check. No, they are connected right there. So, as soon as you take a plasma volley or a mortar volley in this area, you're pretty much going to be losing those front wheels immediately, just because they are so close together. Although it is kind of nice that they are close together, keeps your frame compact, because they're not too close together, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, if you can somehow figure out a way to rod force these, so the actual connection point of the wheel is more in this section rather than this section, then you're definitely going to be rolling a whole lot better. And like I said, really the only other thing I can kind of think of is this wheel back here. Turn that into a steering wheel and you're pretty much golden. Of course though, you'll have to test that. I don't know if that's going to work. At least off the top of my head. Just doing a last quick flyover. I'm not quite sure what else I can point out here. It does seem to be fairly solid. Weapon placement seems to be rather nice. Oh, also, quick reminder, I still would recommend doing the downsizing of the lasers so you can have 4 on each side rather than 3. Besides that though, I'm not entirely familiar with cruisers, so I'm just going to leave it here. This is a pretty solid thing in my books, unless if you guys play cruisers a lot and have any tips, probably post them down below. I think that would be rather nice. Anyways guys, I of course have been the Awesome Soul. I thank you all so very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.